कि सतोगुण, रजोगुण और तमोगुण के बारे में हमने सीखा था. In our today's lecture, we will move ahead in this journey. Till then, जब तक हमारे स्पीकर आते हैं, आज हम एक we will play some game. I have prepared some PPT. I will show you a picture. You will have to guess that what event is going on, and you will have to find out all the characters from that image. I will present my screen very soon. But before starting our today's lecture, let us start with prayers. Om Ajnantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavach Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalitam Shri Vishakhan Vitanch. He Krishna Kirna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesh Gopi Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasi Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrind. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. I think our today's speaker has already arrived. Hare Krishna, Shivam sir.
हरे कृष्णा. लोकेश मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
Yes sir.
Okay, sorry for the late. थोड़ा लेट हो गया आज.
I would like to welcome our today's esteemed speaker, Shivam Kumar sir. Let me take the opportunity to introduce him. Shivam Kumar sir is a digital marketing expert. He has been associated for ISKCON for over 5 years and is currently involved in Vedic club as mentor and lecturer. Shivam sir has done his engineering from Delhi Technical University. He is currently working as digital marketing expert for US companies. Welcome in our today's session, sir.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, thank you Lokesh for giving my introduction. And we have already थोड़ा late already हो चुके हैं. So let's just start the session. I hope like everyone is there. We already have 21 participants. मेरे को हटा के 20 लोग हैं. So first of all, again congratulations to you, so that you are still persisting so till now and trying to learn about the secrets of Bhagavad Gita that has been told 5,000 years back, and they are still relevant and still has the same potential as it holds 5,000 years back. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, is it F4 like Lokesh?
11, sir. F11.
F11. Okay. Okay. All right. So last chapter was chapter 14. So how many of you were there in the last session? Can I just have a quick okay? कौन था last session में?
Participants can raise hand.
can raise hand, can write in their chats or whatever they feel like just to be comfortable. Huh? You can speak some good points that they have learned in the last session. Yeah, anything. Like Vedic Club has raised his hand. Yeah, you can say. Can unmute.
What I remember is in last session we talked about examples on सतोगुण रजोगुण, like book reading में हम सतोगुण में क्या पढ़ सकते हैं, म्यूजिक में, places to visit में, फूड ऑफ ईटिंग हैबिट्स कैसे रहती हैं, सिचुएशन ऑफ माइंड जो है वो कैसा रहता है इन ऑल द थ्री मोड्स ऑफ मटेरियल नेचर.
Yeah, and let me continue. And my learning was like every person on this earth is वो इन तीनों मोड्स में ही बंधा हुआ है. Either he can work in this goodness, पैशन और इग्नोरेंस, वो इनसे बाहर नहीं होगा. अगर कोई ट्रांसीडेंटल पर जाता है तो वो जो ABCD फॉर्मूला है एंड जो 4 रूल्स है उनके थ्रू ही जा सकता है. एंड अदर थिंग्स लाइक इफ वी गो डीपर लोअर इन आवर दिस मोड, तो हमको इस पे रिएक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. हमको वर्क करके दूसरे जो अपर लेवल ऑफ मोड्स हैं उनमें आना चाहिए. दैट वाज माय लर्निंग.
इवन जो लोग पीपल ये बोलते हैं आई वर्क ऑन फ्री विल, मैं तो अपने मन की सुनता हूँ, मैं किसी का गुलाम नहीं हूँ, दे आर ऑल्सो स्लेव्स ऑफ दीज थ्री मोड्स ऑफ मटेरियल नेचर. वो भी किसी न किसी रोप के अंडर काम कर रहे होते हैं, वो भी किसी न किसी खुद से नहीं कर रहे होते हैं काम. So these are our learnings.
Awesome, thank you Lokesh Prue. And आपका नाम भूल गया मैं, वैदिक क्लब नाम लिखा हुआ है आपने. पंकज प्रू. हाँ, सॉरी एक्चुअली लाइक थोड़ा कोई भूल जाता. थैंक यू पंकज प्रू एंड लोकेश प्रू. यू आपने काफी अच्छे से बताया कि व्हाट वर द ओवरव्यू ऑफ आवर चैप्टर 14. हम लोग ने जैसे 3 मोड्स के बारे में बात करी. एंड जस्ट to other folks as well कि by listening to them कि यार हम किस तरीके से ये जो 3 modes होते हैं वर्क करते हैं और किस तरीके से we fall in either of them prominently. So if it makes you anxious कि if I am in mode of, if I happens to be in mode of majoritarily in ignorance or in passion, and how we can improve. So it's a very good sign because it should be our it's very good to be always progress in our life and to be concerned ki how I can improve in my life. So and if you guess ki like if you want to understand the things in more detail, then chapter 16 and 17 are for you, because उसमें और भी डिटेल में इन मोड्स के बारे में बात होगी, how what are the different qualities of demons and demoniacs. So this will be discussed in the chapter 16 and 17. And how there are there is always a tug of war between different modes, different timings, different things, so we have already discussed in chapter 14 and I hope कि आप लोगों ने थोड़ा सा उसको याद रखा होगा, लेकिन थोड़ा सा माइंड में उसका खोल भी रखा है. how the ignorance basically define delusion. आपको याद होगा हम लोगों ने डिस्कस करे थे जैसे laziness, madness, these are the basically qualities of ignorance. passion में there are so many. ठीक है. And passion भी it is usually defined as through anxiety, through over passion that like that just makes you to be just focus on your goal despite of crushing everyone else, or despite of balancing, keeping a balance in your life. So that basically leads into burnouts, अगर आपने सुना होगा ये. So these are the basically different things that we discussed. So in chapter 15 we will be discussing इसका chapter 15 का नाम है, that is basically the yoga of the supreme person. how it is interrelated is when we see कि we are bound by the ropes of these 3 modes of material nature. So when we are bound by ropes, then we need someone else to open them for us, because we cannot free ourselves for us. जब हमको बताया कि हम लोग ट्रांसेंड कैसे हो सकते हैं, ABCD formula, but in order to persist on that ABCD formula, basically even that ABCD formula is also unbinding the rope, but not by ourselves, but by the help of the others. By reading the books, we are basically associating the great sages who have written those books. By chanting, we are basically associating with the supreme person. That's Lord Krishna. So basically, it's chapter 15 is basically about the Lord. Is about the spiritual world, the spiritual home that we actually all belongs to, right? So so iske andar jaise first section is basically home and hotel, which will be described later on. Spiritual world, maintainer, and the last we'll be discussing what the essence of this chapter is. So just to give you an example ki what the I would say feel of this chapter goes, basically iska soul kahan par hai. So actually if you just see है कि ऐसे आप लोग तो खैर अभी पेंडेमिक वाले स्टूडेंट्स हो, but if you just see your seniors जो कि already they have lived the typical hostel life and like जो usually हम लोगों के साथ में होता है. So you will see यार कि जैसे सेमेस्टर का एंड मतलब जिस दिन आखिरी एग्जाम होता था, मान लो शाम को 4-5 बजे खत्म हो रहा है आपका सेशन, एंड स्टूडेंट्स वर लाइक कि 6 बजे तक की ट्रेन बुक कर लेते थे वो 1 घंटे के अंदर, या 15 मिनट पहले एग्जाम से बाहर निकलते थे और एक आधे घंटे के अंदर दे विल बी ऑन रेलवे स्टेशन, और 1 घंटे के अंदर वो लाइक दे हैव लेफ्ट टू देयर होम्स बिकॉज इट्स अ होम, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट दे यूजुअली, अब देखोगे ये होता था, दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस टू अस एज वेल. So for home, it's very pleasant to be at home because it's place where we don't have the pressure of doing the work. We don't have the we have the privilege कि हमें कपड़े नहीं धोने हैं, बिकॉज हॉस्टल में हमको कपड़े भी धोने हैं, अपना पढ़ाई का प्रेशर है, अपना करियर का प्रेशर रहता है. घर में मम्मी भी इतना प्यार से रहती हैं, हमको कुछ काम नहीं करना होता, खाना जो चाहे वो मिल जाता है. There is a comfort that we get in the home with the loved ones that we live there, and on the top of that we don't have the work pressure as well. So if we have such a huge bonding with the home that we lives at max 80 to 90 years. So we can see so from this same perspective, we can see ki how much more our attachment would be of our eternal home, where the things would be even in more abundance. Ki the love that we are being served at our homes is much more than what we get in the eternal world, that's the spiritual world. So that's what in essence that we are going to discuss. Ki basically what is the difference between home and a hotel? Like home and hotel, what's the difference? Hotel maybe you get there, you get an awesome food, you get an awesome home to stay. Waiter bhi aapko has ke wo he tries to serve you pleasantly. Everyone is trying to be so nice to you, but there's a motive generally behind them ki yaar, like a waiter is smiling to give so that he can get the tip from you. I hope like I'm able to like deliver the right message to you guys. And before I just start with the first shloka, can just a few of guys like let me know कि यार अब तक जो मैंने बोला analogy थी home की and how it is related to the previous chapter, वो आपको समझ में आया कि नहीं आया, या फिर आपको कोई पॉइंट अच्छा लगा, then you can share that as well. You can just write yes या फिर why in the comments, or you can, if you like, if you can unmute and say things. Aniket Lohia, yes. Vedic, yes. Pankaj, Khushbu, yes. Vibhav, yes. Mansi, yes. Kaushik, yes. Lokesh, Kaushik, okay. Okay, Puneet Chhabra, yes. Shubham, yes. Hansraj, yes. Prince Rathod, yes. Nice to see to you guys active. Aditya Jain, yes. Dhruv, yes. Not clear all. Not clear all. No clear all. Like Dhruv, you have some doubts, and you can unmute yourself and ask anything that you feel कि आपको कुछ clear नहीं हुआ. Hope my pace is right. Like मैं थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश में बोलने लगता हूँ, तो मुझे मेरा पेस ज्यादा हो तो प्लीज लोकेश आप मेरे को बोल सकते थोड़ा सा स्लो करने के लिए. ध्रुव, you have some question यार? I think you want to say no, all clear. I guess so. ठीक है. All right. So if you do, Dhruvi, if you have some question, then you can write in the chat box as well. I will read it and then we'll explain it as per it. So starting with today's shloka, Lokesh, would you like to say कि कौन पढ़ना चाहेगा मेरे मतलब after me?
Yes, participants, you can raise hand. जो सर के पीछे पढ़ना चाहेंगे. Ranvijay, would you like to unmute?
Okay, so Ranvijay is here. So I will just recite the shloka. It's basically the first shloka of the chapter 15. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Is there?
Sir, Ranvijay has not unmuted. Khushbu has raised hand. Khushbu, you can repeat after sir.
Khushbu, are you there?
Let me see.
Okay, no issues. Let me just Dhruv has come back. Actually, like Dhruv, yeah, can you just quickly unmute yourself there? I think like is it not that key low? Yeah, Dhruv has unmute. Dhruv?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me just मैं पहले बोलता हूँ फिर आप मेरे बाद में रिपीट कीजिएगा. श्री भगवान उवाच
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha
ऊर्ध्वं मूलम् अधः शाखम्
Udvam Moolam Adashakam
अश्वत्थं प्रहुरव्ययम्
Ashwatham Paryo Avyam
चन्दामषि यस्य प्राणी प्रणान प्रणनानि चन्दामषि यस्य प्रणनानि
Chandramasi Yasya Paranami
यश तं वेद सा वेदवित्.
Yash Tam Ved Sa Vedvit.
Okay, thank you, Dhruv. So would you like to read the translation?
Yes, sir. The Supreme Personality of God had said, it is said that there is an impenetrable banyan tree that has its root upward and branches downward, and whose leaves are Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas.
All right. So this is the first shloka of the chapter 15 with basically इसमें भगवान बता रहे हैं कि एक ऐसा बनियान ट्री के बारे में बात करना है which is having its roots upwards and its branches downwards. So have you ever seen this kind of a tree? Probably no one, right? कोई भी ऐसा ट्री नहीं होता जिसका roots upwards हो branches downward हो. So actually में what this world what this tree represents is basically the reflection of the actual tree. A reflection of an actual tree is what looks like this. So basically इसका मतलब क्या है यहाँ पे? Actually how it is related to the things that we were just discussing is basically this world is basically a reflection of the real world. Like for example यहाँ पे जो जिस tree के बारे में बात करी जा रही है, it means here कि the reflection of this of the real tree basically is represents material world that we live here. And इसमें if you just I know थोड़ा सा complicated लग रहा है, समझ में नहीं आ रहा इसका क्या है exactly. So actually it's a bit related to कि किस तरीके से इसमें चीजें डिफाइन होती हैं, मतलब व्हाट आर द बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड लाइज. तो इसके अंदर जो एनालॉजी के बारे में पहले कंप्लीट कर लेता हूँ. एनालॉजी में जिसमें बताया गया जो लीव्स हैं, द लीव्स हो गए वो एक्चुअली लीव्स बेसिकली रिप्रेजेंट्स द वैदिक हिम्स. वैदिक हिम्स का मतलब क्या है? द वैदिक स्क्रिप्चर्स that we have been provided in this world. So let me just quickly move toward the life lesson that we can learn from it. I guess this one was right. This world is full of look-alike. Everything has a duplicate. With while we end up with Reebok while looking for the Reebok, its duplicate. Let's go to the real one. So in this material world, we actually have the reflection of everything that is there in the real spiritual world. Like for example, you might have heard about here, people try to be लोग हमेशा खुश रहना चाहते हैं. People always want to live eternal life. Nobody wants to die, right? This is what one of the key factors are there. Everybody wants to have a life with no problems, with a place where everyone will love each other, and there are no clashes. There are no problems that we face, like we get diseases, we get natural calamities, we get our internal mind disturbs us. We tries to do things as per our own will, but we fails. हम चाहते हैं कि हम concentrated रहें, but there are things that controls us. जैसे हम लोग previous chapter में discuss किया था, we are being controlled by the different pushings that within our own selves, within our surroundings, and so many things. But the point here is कि if these desires are there, कि यार हमें ये इस तरीके की life चाहिए, we want to live a life where we can control the things as per our happiness, कि हम लोग उसमें खुश रह सके, we can live eternally. So this is basically a sign that these things exist, and why we are not able to experience them as of now, because we are basically living in the world which is a reflection of the real world that we actually belongs to. Okay, so how to free ourselves from reflection? So basically जैसे अभी आपको मैंने बताया कि we should be यहाँ पे designations के बारे में बात हो रही है. Designations का मतलब ये है कि we basically don't be over attached to anything. Like for example, if we are there doing our duty as a student, if we are doing our duty as as an engineer, yeah, as a software developer, we should be we should not be overly attached to the things that are not permanent. So basically by doing that, you will be in a much better position, so that you will not feel that kind of pains that we are discussing about, over attachment. So let's just move forward, and we will things will get more clear that as we go down. Choose a way that's not clear. In the sixth sloka, the things are discussed as यहाँ पे थोड़ा स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड के बारे में भगवान एक जिस्ट देते हैं. न तद भाषते सूर्यो न शशांको न पावकः यत गत्वा ना निवर्तन्ते तद धाम परमम मम. As I have discussed in the beginning, that the essence of this chapter is basically we were discussing about the home, that is our true home, and we are comparing it to the things that we have seen in this world. So here Krishna describes how does that world looks like. तब वो इसमें बता रहे हैं भगवान क्या, ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ता हूं मैं इसका. That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon. यानी कि इसका लैंग्वेज मतलब ये है कि वो जो प्लेस है, that place is not illumined by the sun or the moon nor by fire. मतलब बेसिकली रोशनी उसमें यहाँ पे सन और मून से नहीं आती है, nor by the fire or electricity. Those who reach it never returns to this material world. तो जो भी वहां पर जाता है वो he doesn't come back to this perishable world where we have to suffer as compared to that permanent happiness that we gain in the spiritual world. A lost connection, that's why we are here. यहाँ पे Krishna clearly describes here कि we are the eternal fragment parts of Krishna. So that's why and आपको याद होगा चैप्टर 5th में and 4th में हम लोगों ने भी यही डिस्कस किया था, why Krishna is our supreme, is the supreme proprietor, he is the supreme enjoyer, and he is the supreme well-wisher. So that's what kind of relates to this vibes that we are discussing here right now. And let's one of the key lesson where from this shloka where हम क्या ले सकते हैं, which is let's wake up to our real identity and the life would be blissful. Just one conscious decision that I belong to Krishna. Basically here I know थोड़ा सा आपको लग रहा होगा कि exactly what we have to do. the things that we are here focusing is basically the spirit of doing the things that we already do. We are here not discussing about what the do's and don'ts are. We're here discussing what the spirit of do's and don'ts are. So अब यहाँ पे इसके बारे में काइंड ऑफ भगवान जहाँ पे भगवत गीता में भगवान इस वर्स नंबर 8 में Krishna basically summarizes the phases of a living entity in this material world looks like. So यहाँ पे भगवान बताते हैं किस तरीके से the living entities in the material world carries different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas, thus takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another. Basically यहाँ पे काफी अच्छी analogy है. Would you, Lokesh, would you like to give some like यहाँ पे आप किस तरीके यहाँ पे basically concept of soul यहाँ पे किस तरीके से भगवान बताना चाह रहे through the analogy of air and aroma? Would you like to say if anybody else, because this concept is already been repeated in different chapters as well. So anyone या फिर लोकेश के अलावा कोई और भी बोलना चाहेगा इसके बारे में about the analogy of air and how it is related to the different phases of the material world that a living entity lives.
If anybody else wanna say about it, you can unmute.
You can say as well.
Sir, जैसे एयर के अंदर अच्छा ध्रुव, yes ध्रुव, you can say. Aniket Loya has said sukh dukh. Dhruv, if you wanted to say something, you can unmute. Sir, what I understood from this is like जो जैसे एयर है वो फ्रेगनेंस को अपने एरोमा को अपने साथ बहा के ले जाती है और वो घुल जाती है. सिमिलरली संसार में जीव अपनी देहात्म बुद्धि यानी कि हम अपनी सबटल जो बॉडी होती है ना उसे एक शरीर से दूसरे शरीर में हम ले जा सकते हैं.
Right.
वन बॉडी को हम छोड़ देते हैं और नई बॉडी हम एक सुगंध एक जगह से दूसरी जगह फैल जाती है लाइक दैट.
Right, you are right. Basically if you see that कि air being air हवा जहां से जाती है वो वहां का aroma लेके चलती है, right? So basically but air remains the same, right? Air carries different aromas, be it a good smell, be it a fragrant, be it a foul smell, but that air remains the same, right? So that's in the similar way, though we in whichever body we are, we might be there as a king, we might be there as an animal, but at every phase of our life, we are that individual soul that is not, that is spirit that always belongs to the world that we are discussing right now. That's a spiritual world. So that's why यहाँ पे एक काफी अच्छा analogy भगवान ने दिया है air के बारे में, like the air carries the aroma. Similarly, the living entity being being constant carries the different individual characteristics as per the thing that it passes through. And same goes here, how the cycle of reincarnation works कि किस आपका जिस तरीके से आपका करंट स्टेट ऑफ माइंड है, आपका करंट स्टेट ऑफ आपने जिस अपने आप को जिस चीज में ढाल रखा था, दैट काइंड ऑफ अरोमा दैट यू आर हैविंग, जैसे हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया. सो एज पर दैट योर नेक्स्ट बॉडी विल बी डिसाइडेड. So यहाँ पे काफी इंपॉर्टेंट लाइफ लेसन आता है कि चेंज इज इनएविटेबल इन द मटेरियल वर्ल्ड. एनी डे वी हैव टू डाई, एनी डे we have to change this body. We have been already doing this, right? So why not to move toward the progression? So that's what we are that's what here written as well. Are we changing and rising, or are we changing and falling? And rising means what? Ki we are upgrading our consciousness in terms of at least हम लोगों ने discuss किया था goodness, passion and ignorance. Are we moving forward in the ladder, or are we moving down the ladder? जैसे हम लोगों ने, आपको याद होगा कि 14 में डिस्कस ये भी किया था कि as per the dominance of these things will describe what your next what is your next life looks like after the death. अब यहाँ पे Here we will be discussing about the characteristics of Lord Krishna. What's the role of Lord Krishna here is, and what kind of influence Krishna has. So first of all, the thing Krishna describes about himself, how he is the maintainer of the body. I will directly read the translation of it. I enter into each planet, and by my energy, they stay in orbit. I became the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all vegetables. So here Krishna describes how he is actually giving energy to each and everything that exists. Body का मतलब सिर्फ और सिर्फ हमारी body नहीं, but also the gigantic bodies like solar system, that planets that holds the things in the right place. If you just अगर आप लोग एक just एक कुछ चीज देखना बताना चाह था, Bhagavad Gita also talks about orbit. Second thing, Bhagavad Gita also talks about how the moon actually is responsible for supplying the taste into the vegetables. And I don't know, like कि अगर कोई scientific research अगर आप कोई में interested है, I would really suggest कि there has been one study which actually showed कि how the moon is actually responsible for moonlight जो होती है, वो actually it provides that taste into the vegetables. And if you अगर एक सब्जी है, अगर आप उसको moonlight ना दो और एक को आप moonlight दो, their taste will be much different. जो actually में जो सब्जी का taste आता है, that identical जो taste होता है, that is actually provided by the moon. That's what actually scientific study भी है. I would really suggest कि आप उसको पढ़ो. अब वो actually ज्यादा पुरानी study भी नहीं है. I guess कि it's within 5 years this study has been executed, and the results were the same. कि how the moon was responsible for the for the taste that we experience in the vegetables and fruits, right? यहाँ पे जैसे मैंने बताया कि the maintenance of the body also includes the things that happens within this world as well. Like you see that जो हमारी cycle जो मतलब जिसको आप बोलते हो precipitation, you might remember. So this is actually happens by the sun. Ecological balances are there. Like अगर आप देखो यहाँ पे ozone layers वगैरह सब होते, these actually also consist the body of which Lord Krishna is talking about. And how he is saying about this. So इसमें जो particular words हैं उसके बारे में यहाँ पे बताया गया कि इस तरीके से आदित्य गतम तेजो, this means the splendor of the sun. गम अविश्य चा भूतानि धार्यन्यम, मेरा भी थोड़ा सा इसमें वीक है. Maintains the planets. यहाँ पे जो third point है उसमें बताया गया supply the juices of life to all vegetables. Fire of digestion and digestive food stuff by outgoing and incoming air. So till now, from what are the things that we can learn? Awareness that for everything we are dependent on Krishna brings a profound sense of gratitude and humility. So यहाँ पे what Krishna is trying to tell here is कि what's the position of Lord Krishna is. So if we just remember them कि what's the role of Krishna is, even जैसे हमको यहाँ बताया कि see, like nobody has the control over the fire of digestive power that we have. So it is basically provided by Lord Krishna. So what's our हम इसको क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं? Because we should be grateful, and and we should be grateful about these things are being provided by the Lord. And maintenance of the mind and soul, that's what अपने साथ already पढ़ा भी होगा, how Krishna resides in everyone's heart. So यहाँ पे काफी important श्लोक है. So I would request anyone to read this. Lokesh, would you like to read the shloka?
Yes, sir. सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्ट मत् स्मृति ज्ञानम अपोहनम च वेद च सर्वे अहम एव वेद वेदांत कृत वेदवित एव च अहम.
Good. So Krishna is saying here in the chapter, this is the shloka number 15 of the chapter 15. So translation of this is, I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes the remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta and I'm the knower of the Vedas. So kind of a very important and profound statement कि here Krishna is describing अब लोग काफी सारे you all guys are interested in spirituality, right? आप लोगों ने काफी लोग सुनते होंगे यार कि ये वेद पढ़ने चाहिए, ऋग्वेद पढ़ो, यजुर्वेद पढ़ो, सामवेद पढ़ो, ये सब पढ़ो, या फिर कहते हैं काफी लोग बोलते हैं कि हमें देवी पुराण भी पढ़नी चाहिए, हमें शिव पुराण भी पढ़नी चाहिए. But see, here Krishna is describing things in very clear lines that by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the knower of the Vedas. So Krishna says clearly that I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the knower of the Vedas, and from Vedas I am to be known. And before that, and another thing that we can learn from this shloka is forgetfulness is also a grace of the Lord. It saves us from so many miseries. Be it forgetfulness, be it remembrance. Both things comes from Krishna. आपने देखो feel भी क्या हुआ है ना? Sometimes we feel कि यार we forget so many things. Of course, उसमें हमारा role भी होता है. How much conscious we are, how much importance that we give to the subject matter. But still, there is an X factor that that is there. That is basically Krishna. How and यहाँ पे Krishna is saying कि I am that X factor and I am that person that derives that derives this thing into your life. So maintenance of the soul that we have already discussing. So again, Lukesh, would you like to leave? If anyone else would like to read this life lesson?
Hansraj Atithi Jain. Okay, Kavita, you can read.
Yes, sir. When we do something for others, we want to be praised. When others do for us, we think it is their duty. And Lord does everything without any expectation. That is unconditional love.
I hope you are getting the thing that being discussed here. Basically, again, I'm stressing the same point. We're discussing the spirit behind doing all the spiritual activities that we are doing. Because if the spirit is missing, if the understanding that who is Lord and what He is doing for us, and we are not grateful for that, then we will just ritualistic doing the things. And if the spirit is removed from the spiritual, then it becomes a ritual, and ritual doesn't work for long. How many of you are getting the thing that I'm trying to say here? Can you just reply by why or yes or something, anything sort of like. अगर लोग अनम्यूट नहीं करना चाहते तो दे कैन राइट यस. ध्रुव, लोकेश, विभव, कविता, खुशबू, यस. अनिकेत. Alright, Prince Rathod, Aditi. Thank you guys for being attentive. And it's very important, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि to keep the spirit intact, otherwise the spiritual becomes a ritual and the ritual doesn't work for long. So moving ahead, let's discuss what's the essence that of this chapter lies. So from here we will go on with the shloka 16. The translation of this shloka is: there are two classes of beings, the infallible, the fallible, and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is infallible. Fallible वर्ड शायद आप लोग को यूजुअली यूज नहीं करते होंगे, तो इसका मतलब पता नहीं होगा क्या है. एक्चुअली fallible का मतलब होता है the thing which can fall from some certain height, and infallible means a position of that person, of that thing, which will not fall below that position. I hope the thing is clear. So living entity में को यहाँ पे बताया जा रहा है किस तरीके से fallible and infallible होती है, कि one who can very easily fall from the position that they are in. So यहाँ पे it is basically मैं आपको थोड़ा directly easy format में बताना चाहता हूँ. यहाँ पे स्पिरिचुअल के बारे में बात, अगर मैं आपको भगवान के बारे में डायरेक्टली अगर कनेक्शन करना चाहे तो कृष्णा इज क्लियरली डिस्क्राइबिंग कि ही इज इनफेलिएबल, ही नेवर एवर गेट्स ट्रैप इनटू दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, और जैसे हम सोचते हैं वी आर बाउंड बाय द रूप्स ऑफ द मोड्स ऑफ नेचर। कृष्णा नेवर कम्स इनटू दिस। यूजुअली आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि कुछ लोग बोलते हैं ऐसा कि यार कृष्णा भी तो थे, भगवान ने भी गुस्सा किया, भगवान ने भी छल किया, भगवान ने पॉलिटिक्स करी, भगवान को भी Lord Krishna was also controlled by the modes of material nature like lust, like anger, like attachment, है ना? But यहाँ पे Krishna is clearly telling that I doesn't come unto these things. I am above all these things. Because Krishna is saying, because I'm transcendental beyond the both fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. So we should never ever compare the ourselves to Lord, because usually आपने देखा होगा ना कि बहुत सारी like brainwashing has been happening into this world कि मैं करूँ मतलब भगवान करे तो लीला और मैं करूँ कैरेक्टर ढीला, राइट? This is one of them. मतलब काफी सारी इस तरीके से काफी सारी propagandas are there which basically compares the activities of the Lord with that of the that we do in our daily life, right? So Lord, you can never compare yourself to the Lord. So Krishna never ever falls by the cravings of this world. He does because because he wants to do that. जो भगवान जो भी करते हैं, and there are because Krishna is also the well wisher of us. There's no one that is harmed by his actions, be it the demons as well. भगवान अगर असुरों को मारते भी हैं तो that is also good for them, and they are awarded for them. So whatever Krishna does, that is never ever you know uh, that is never ever in किसी का भी घाटा नहीं होता उसके अंदर. So, though fallible, we can still achieve the success just by following the supremely perfect person, Shri Krishna. जैसे कि मैंने starting में बताया था what कि if we are bound by the ropes of the material modes of nature, then we need someone to untie us. जिसका हमने क्या बताया था, ABCD formula है. A for association, basically that person who is free from those ropes can वही तो हमको हमारे रस्ते से खोल पाएगा, right? So what is that? That is basically that is basically Lord Shri Krishna. And what we cannot talk directly to Lord Krishna. So by Lord we also means by his teachings, by his devotees. So by his that जो हम उनकी learning करते हैं, these two things are there primarily that we can do by his chanting his names, by associating with him via the meditation that we do. Life lesson again for this chapter we will also be having. Lucas, would you like to read this?
Dhruv has hand raised, क्या sir? Yes, Dhruv, you can read.
Most confidential understanding of the Vedas. Lord Krishna is the supreme being. He is therefore worshipable. Always remember this, and then life would be perfect. Okay, so this was the last lesson. Most confidential understanding of the Vedas. Lord Krishna is the supreme being. He is therefore worshipable. Always remember this, and then the life would be perfect. So here we basically discussed what the spirit of doing of our everyday spiritual activities that we do, be it chanting, be it reading, be it meditation, by chanting the holy names that हम लोग mantra meditation जिसको बोलते हैं, है ना, be it reading the Bhagavad Gita. We should be very clear कि we are not just reading them for some academic some academic qualification, or some getting some motivation to do the things. It's actually related to the person that is there always with us, that is the supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer, and supreme well-wisher of us. And what position that person holds,
that is basically यहाँ पे बताया गया किस तरीके से भगवान का जो how he controls this world and what's the role that he plays, so that we can be grateful and we can be naturally inclined towards doing the things that we are doing. And so that's what the spirit of doing the thing that we already do. I hope this provide you something useful and would help you in your spiritual journey. This is the overview of this chapter looks alike, and if anyone has some question, then I would really like to answer it, or if anyone has some comments या कोई उसको point अच्छा लगा या फिर anyone of us on of you like would like to summarize the chapter, then I would be more than happy to be a part of it. Anyone? कोई क्वेश्चन, कोई कमेंट या कोई टीचिंग या फिर कोई द लास्ट वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट कि अगर कोई पूरा इसके ओवरव्यू समरी देना चाहे तो आई बी बहुत ऑलरेडी चैप्टर का समरी खुली है, सो जस्ट हैव टू आइदर रीड and see the things what you have learned as well. Anything that you would have to say.
In chat box we have a reply from Aniket here, sir. He liked that Krishna is to be known by Vedas. I am to be known by all
Awesome.
Vedas. I am compiler of all Vedas. He
Yeah.
loved that Gita.
Because usually people are there, लोग सोचते हैं Hinduism में there are so many confusions. Actually, in Hinduism we lack the quality educators that actually provide the right information of the what is given in the Vedas. So in Krishna, so in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has clearly described what are the goals of different Vedas and different Puranas that we are there. So Krishna, so basically Bhagavad Gita अगर आप देखो is basically the essence of the Upanishads. And Upanishads क्या है? Bhagavad Gita is the summary of the Upanishads, and Upanishads is the essence of the Vedas. I hope it is clear. जैसा हिरार्की अगर आपको जानना हो, मतलब बिकॉज मैंने बताया ना कि शिव पुराण है, देवी पुराण है, ब्रह्म नारद पुराण है, बहुत सारे पुराण है, बट इन ऐसे यू शुड बी वेरी क्लियर कि व्हाट वी आर गेटिंग एंड व्हाई वी आर गेटिंग. सो अच्छा, अनिकेत, इट्स वेरी गुड कि यू आर क्लियर अबाउट इट. Anyone else would like to say anything?
If someone have any question, he can ask.
So this chapter was basically about the spirit behind the spirituality that we do. So Lokesh, would you like to conclude the session? Like you can summarize or whatever point that you want to share. Like it's up to you.
Yes, sir. In today's lecture, we came to know about the characteristics of material world and the spiritual world and how we have lost our connection with the Lord Krishna. We also talked about how Krishna is infallible from the post of love. If we love Krishna without any sake of service, then Krishna is infallible. All the material things in this world are fallible, but Krishna is unfallible. And we also talked about that Krishna is to be known through all the Vedas. We also talked about some characteristics of spiritual world, like there's no requirement of sun, moon, light, or fire. The spiritual world is self-enlightened by the energies of Lord Krishna. We also talked about how Krishna controls the orbits of the planets, and in the same chapter it comes that Krishna is the factor who helps us to digest food. Krishna is the force behind digesting foods. So these were the major striking points of the today's chapter. Thank you so much, sir, for taking our today's session. I'm very thankful to you on behalf of Vedic Club and all the students present here.
Yeah, thanks, Kaushik. at the end, like I would like to say again, like I would just like to repeat that one line that I was just trying to stress in the whole lecture. जैसे आपको पता था home and hotel, in every part of this session was mainly entitled towards कि why we need to do the things not just in a ritualistic way, but with the right spirit of gratitude, and and the acknowledgement that there are things that exist, not just a kind of कि हमें सिर्फ book पढ़ने academic knowledge के लिए. There's a person lying there who actually cares for us, and you can get the reciprocation if you do it with the right spirit and with the right methodology. And last would like to say कि प्लीज बी ऑल्सो जैसे अभी लोकेश, अगर आप लोकेश को देखोगे, लोकेश इज द पर्सन हु इज एक्चुअली हु इज द मोस्ट एक्टिव, एंड इन द सेम टाइम इफ यू आर रिपीटिंग द थिंग्स, इफ यू आर जस्ट अगर इफ यू आर इंटरेक्टिंग राइट, सो अगर आप गलत भी बोल रहे हो, so you will get the best out of your time, because अगर आप गलत बोल रहे हो then I will try to correct it, and if you अगर आप बोलोगे तो you will, it's a very very high chance that you will be able to remember it, and if you are not able to, अगर आप इसको याद ही नहीं रख पाओगे, then it's very hard to apply it, right? So thank you all of you. आप लोगों ने इतना टाइम दिया, you have been till आपने already 1 घंटा सुना, उसके बाद में and also you have been persisting for so long. So I would like to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity as well to speak on this chapter. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Participants, if you haven't marked your attendance, please mark it in the chat box. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for giving your time.